Hello, everyone. Welcome to Meticulous Talks on August 19th, 2023. I am cursedchords,
I'm Hithroc.
and we're back from Everfree. Was Everfree fun, Hithroc?
It was very fun.
It was very fun. I thought it was a great weekend. The whole way through. Uh,
Yes. Let's do it again.
Part of me wants to say yes to that, actually. I mean, it was great. I don't know if I could afford multiple Everfrees in one year. But I would love,
Depending on which places you go to, I guess.
yeah. Maybe if I ate at McDonald's the whole time or something, maybe.
There's Wendy's right there.
I suppose that's true. I never actually went to that Wendy's the whole time that I was there.
I was there once. Me and Cheese went there because we were like very short on time.
Right. So anyway, yeah, Everfree happened. We are gonna talk about it. I think actually, given the situation of this top 8, this is probably going to be more of a story swapping stream than a deck review. You know most of these decks already, and a good number of them were played by us.
Oh, two of them.
That's 25%. That's a good number.
Out of top 8? Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be a stream about the top 8 core decks. There were also 12 Harmony participants. There were 16 core participants in all. It was a big tournament all weekend, actually.
Yeah.
And then once we're finished with that, we'll be. I suppose, just be revealing the participant list for the Invitational this year. That's starting. Basically, officially starting today, I guess, in its kind of preparatory stages.
I think it already started, kind of. If you think about it.
Kind of depends on what you consider started to be. For folks at home, it only really starts once we start playing games.
That's true.
But anyway, yeah, we'll save that to the end. As I said, the main focus of today is talking about the top 8 deck lists. And so we shall start, as we usually do, going, bottom to top to the extent possible. I think the way they've got this sorted is like the top 8 are sorted by their seeds, by their Swiss seeds. So our first at top 8 was Minty playing Grogar. I almost said Grogar Orange, just Grogar. Farm, one of several, I guess three farm decks in the top 8.
3? What's the third one?
There's me, there's him, Pancake, and me, right?
Oh, that's you. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about you.
Admittedly, some people there was some confusion about my deck, and maybe we can talk about that.
Understandably so.
I think quite understandably so. Oh, that's right. Bugle reminding us, Pancake wasn't playing farm. I already forgot about that.
That's true. It is control. I remember
That's
that
true.
now.
So
We
it
talked
is.
about it.
It is 2 farm decks. It's so hard for me to consider living in a world where Pancake was not playing a farm deck.
Yeah. I didn't think this would happen.
Well,
I mean, I also wouldn't think you would play farm, but here we are.
Yeah. There's a story there. It's you already know the story, and actually a good portion of the people in the chat know the story too. But we'll tell that when we get to it. Regardless, this is Minty's deck, or rather, the deck that he got, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Did he just like show up and ask for a deck, or was he planning on playing this?
He was planning on playing, but I don't know. I don't know how he ended up playing this deck.
Okay.
He wanted to play something unexpected, but Groger is not what I would call unexpected per se.
Mm,
So perhaps GP just handed him the list.
it's. I mean, he's the only person. The only person in the tournament playing this. No. Well,
Groger Farm, I think so. Oh,
Instagram. No, Instagram was also playing Grogar Farm.
very
A
different from this one though.
different version of it, though. Yes. Yeah. I never got the chance to. I don't think I actually watched Minty play any of his games. Um, by the sounds of it, based on that's Prism Light in the chat. Sorry, same color as Bugle there. Yes, might have gotten a little bit too confident in always slipping the good stuff. Which, fair enough. That is a risk that you can take in Orange Farm, especially.
Yeah, I didn't get to play Minty in Swiss or top 8 for that matter, but I did play after the tournament,
Hmm.
and I don't think this deck wins against Royal Tudor. It was pretty rough.
Hmm. It's just a little bit too slow.
It was hard for it to do anything. But anyway, still made it to the top 8. I don't know if he played against Cheese, he might have.
Well, wait a second. I remembered. Yes, I actually do have the record.
You have the standings.
Uh, the Swiss record. Yes. So, let's see here. Minty against Ivory. Minty against Diamond Song. Minty against Mayo. Minty against Brandon. Instagram. Smithers, and then Sokol.
Mm.
So yeah, a number of kind of the bottom of the the bottom half of the table, kind of, I guess. Also, one of the few
Mostly, yeah.
participants, well, four, I guess, out of 16 participants to record a draw. He had the first draw against Diamond Song.
And you had your draw versus
I
Ara.
had my draw against Ara. Yes, two draws in a Swiss event.
But yeah, I think there's not much to talk about here about Groger Farm. I think we've seen this deck before.
Yep. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, there's not a whole lot of newness in these lists. At least until we get kind of close up to the top.
Hmm.
There's some interesting stuff up there.
Still pretty diverse though.
Oh well, yes, that is one thing. Maybe we should have led with that. Orange, pink, purple, yellow, blue, white, and then purple again. Did I miss a color?
Yellow?
Yellow. We had a thorax.
Oh yeah.
I think yeah. I think we have all the colors here in the top 8.
Oh yeah, we have the blue. Yeah.
So that is pretty great.
Is there any one place control other than Pancake?
Uh,
I mean, Royal Tudor is kind of control, I guess.
it's kind of, I don't know.
It's more
More.
control than Beagle's deck.
It's more. Well, yes, but they're both combo decks, I think.
Yeah.
Especially given like the way we saw Royal Tutor play, so focused on that lunch break turn.
Lunch break. Oh, it was great. I didn't get to do any of that, but I saw Cheese do it. It was great. All right, should we go to
Yeah.
Aura?
Yes. I have it open for myself already. Let me just move the screen over. So Ara was playing Cadence Blue. don't know if he's made any changes to this, or if this is just the normal deck list. I guess I should have watched their stream. And I know.
Did you get the chance to play against our? Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah,
You died.
yeah, that was the draw. It was I think we tied like 7-7 or 8-8 somewhere around there. And it was he did manage to get his one Wrath of Gilda off against me. That was kind of the equalizer. I feel like I was kind of ahead-ish for most of the game. I was like 2 or 3 points ahead of him. But then we kind of stabilized right at the end, and he managed to get it back, or well, get it back enough to tie.
Yeah. I think I also played Ara, if I remember correctly, and he was just. It was an unlucky game for him. He didn't get any friends. Look at this deck. Can you imagine him not getting any friends? And yet that's what happened.
That's pretty unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember if he even flipped his main or not. I think he did, but he couldn't do anything.
Jeez.
It was sad. Oh yeah, he like only friends he had was loyal sea pony and loyal pony, so he was juggling them together. But like that's it. Didn't do too much.
That's a real shame.
Yeah. So I didn't actually see this deck in action, or at least how it's supposed to action.
Yeah, I mean it's. I think he had some reasonable turns against me. I think he had a good Angel Wings string. That is like, I guess I learned that lesson again. That if there's no Angel Wings in the discard pile, you can never underestimate how much this deck is going to be able to do with a small amount of AT. Well, these color combinations, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
And then I guess let me actually see. So this is something that's interesting to me. On the Reddit post here, his Ara's record is listed as 3-3-0. And I don't know, like, did he only play 6 rounds or?
Well, the tie is missing, right?
Right. It should be 3-3-1. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, right. The tie is missing. Yeah. Interesting.
Hara just didn't like tie that much.
Well,
Removed it.
as
Nice.
I remember saying to him as we were rounding down our game, like, he wasn't the head judge. He has no reason to not want ties in this match, in this tournament. Go ahead and tie. It was Grandpa's turn to be frustrated this event.
Yep.
Right. Next up is you.
Yeah, Trixie Adores Union Stamp. I didn't name that. I think Ara did.
Well, you just stamped the deck, I assume, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. The stamp was, well, it was supposed to be my name, but I guess there's also like the name of the deck there, which also happens to be stamped because the stamp is large.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is just Royal Tudor. I think it's exactly the same list as Cheese, even though
There was no
some of
coordination.
some of the changes were uncoordinated. We kind of came independently, like Feet of Peak. Because originally this list had same game delivery, and I just don't get that card in this list. It's just never useful. I don't like it here. But Feet of Peak, I think, is just so much better. It's an event you can replay. It removes annoying stuff from the discard pile. Just a perfect fit. Perfect. Yeah, Stream of Silence was suggested by GP, so Bugle can blame him for that. And what to cut for Stream of Silences, we kind of ask Cheese what he's cutting, and his choices kind of aligned with mine. That's how we ended up with the same list.
Right. Yeah, Fit of Peak, I found it I guess I only played against Cheese, never against you, but I found it hard to believe there's only one of them in here. It seemed like he always had it against me, which really sucks when you're playing Celestia main. Because
Yeah. I mean, if you're playing purple, it's also really annoying because just tranquility, every tranquility is gone.
Yeah.
Pretty much as soon as it hits discard pile. In Boreal Tutor, you can, like, it's a 5 power card. You can find anything in your deck. Like, I don't know. Just so much better than same dim delivery in every way.
Mhm.
But yeah, I did end up sideboarding it out against a lot of decks, but when you need it, it's really useful.
Fair enough. Do you think this deck is okay?
I love this deck.
I guess I should clarify. Okay to continue to exist in its current form.
I love this deck.
Fair enough.
uh, I think lunch break, the fact that you can copy lunch break multiple times and keep doing turns, I think that's a bit much.
Mhm.
But otherwise, I think. I mean, I did say this deck is ridiculous every time I played it. But at the same time,
Yeah. Yeah. For those who I guess maybe weren't there, I didn't see the stream. Or well, Cheese did on stream, but yes, it's that copied lunch break into 5 minutes later. Okay, I'm finally gonna get to play again. Oh, he's copying lunch break again. I see. Well, fair enough.
yes. Like, being able to copy lunch break is a mistake. I think this deck without lunch break is. I mean, it's still ridiculous, but it's not. It's fine. I don't know. I'm gonna make statements, but yeah.
I think like without that, it removes one of the most unfun parts of playing against it. At least,
Yes.
like the deck's still good. It's still great even.
Yeah, because once this deck plays lunch break, it's just a solitaire at that point.
Mhm.
Your opponent is not doing anything for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Sorry. Go on.
yeah, just another card that I think is silly is alternative solution. That problem just it's in this deck it's better than blackmail.
I mean that makes sense, frankly.
Like if I was an adventurer and I had to choose between alternative solution and blackmail, in this deck I would choose this card.
Google
Bugle
disagrees with you.
Bugle disagrees, but he's free to do so.
Interesting. So
Like the thing is that it's an amazing point acceleration. You don't have to do much for it. You just have to confront the problem. That's much easier than keeping people off the blackmail. And you also get AT from Saddle Rose because you confront them. I guess you would get AT from Saddle Rose as well on blackmail.
you would.
I don't know. I like this card more than blackmail in this deck.
Right.
Just
It's
in this deck.
so yeah. Alternative solution gets you 2 points per turn. Uh,
Free with Lusterdon.
3 with Lusterdon. Interesting. Like so, yeah. It is not. You couldn't substitute it in everywhere for blackmail, right?
No, absolutely not.
Right. But I can understand in a deck that's in a combo deck where every point you score is less work that you have to do later. It makes sense that this is a really good problem for the situation. And the 0 bonus really just
Yeah.
cements that.
Yeah.
It's so hard for the opponent to equalize the value of that problem.
Oh, see, Beagle agrees that this card is better than blackmail in this deck. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's better than blackmail in general, but in this deck, it absolutely is. And in my experience, whenever I flip into that problem, my my points just accelerate.
You didn't see it, but I assume you made like a ramping up gesture when you
Yes.
said that. Yes.
Yes. It's crazy how, like, I think this problem is ridiculous. Uh, But I'm fine with that. I like purple. Give us more good purple things, please.
Probably. Yeah.
Me and Bugle actually yesterday had a discussion. I guess it's a little bit of a tangent, but in core right
Don't
now
you know
there
the name of this stream? Come on, go ahead.
in core right now there are barely any good Meticulous cards. Like there's two, right?
Yeah.
There's the Sunset, which is good, but nobody plays her. She's not good enough apparently. And there is the Fluttershy Twilight, right?
Yes.
And every other Meticulous card just might as well not exist. Doesn't matter. And maybe we need more Meticulous because
Are
I really miss me.
not Celestia and Twilight is Meticulous, isn't it? That kind of sees play-ish. Granted, not for the Meticulous, but anyway.
Okay, blue purple Meticulous is the one that like moves things when you put stuff on top. I mean, I
Right,
guess.
right. The Doctor Who's, yeah.
There's not enough Meticulous. Like it's. And we need mono purple. We need mono purple Meticulous, I think. Why Trixie doesn't have Meticulous?
Not particularly in flavor.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, it's come well. Yeah, it's reversed completely from where we were in the EO block, where
Yes.
purple had piles and piles of Meticulous.
Yeah. Now
Um,
we barely have any Meticulous at all. Like I think we're not in the sweet spot where it's a good amount of Meticulous, not too much and not too few. But that's just my opinion.
right. It's hard. It's gonna be hard from Sim's perspective with Royal Tutor in the game in her current state. Because purple, you have the ability to search up whatever friend you need, right? Like
Well, first of all, make it not a unicorn or alicorn. That'll be step one.
that'll help. Yes.
Anyway.
Anyway, yeah. Next up is me, I guess.
Oh yeah, your deck is way more interesting.
Uh
Well, because we haven't talked about it ever, I guess.
I clicked on your deck again by accident. We're both playing Royal Tutor. I suppose, yeah, we haven't talked about it.
Tell us about your deck.
Well, it's
How did
not.
it came to me?
It is not. Well, it is my deck. It's both my deck and Pancake's deck. I was the guy who played it. He was the guy who built it. I made some tiny changes to it before the tournament. But yeah, as mentioned, you've already heard the story. Bugle and Pancake already know the story because they were there when it happened. But for everyone else's benefit, was it like a month before Continental, wasn't it?
Yeah, around that.
I feel like it, yeah. We were on a call together, and Pancake was complaining about the fact that this new deck he had built wasn't good enough, and he was going to have to play his old normal farming farming deck. That's weird, actually. Now that I think about it. Anyway, that, and I just kind of tossed out offhand the name of the new deck he had been working on. Celestia Gets Off Her Throne.
Oh, and of course.
Yes, and like I had just gotten off a call with Grandpa's like 2 days before that, where I had been practicing playing the Royal Tutor combo. But my ears kind of perked up on that, like, oh, tell me more, please, Pancake. I'm intrigued. And so he just kind of sent me the deck list, and I looked at it. I don't think he even explained anything about what the deck was trying to do, except that it was a farm deck, obviously. And I kind of looked at it and said, oh, well, there's a lot of Celestia here, and Celestia main, and we're farming, and sure, that sounds cool. And so I decided that's what I was going to play for Continentals. And I practiced with it like once before the tournament. That was when I played you.
Yeah.
And then right before the tournament, I got Pancake to explain a bit of the strategy to me, and that was good, very useful. A few things in there I didn't know about, namely the potential of Flash Bee Queen to be a win condition all on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I learned also playing the Harmony deck like the day before Core. But yeah, that is kind of the trick of the deck. It is a farm deck that can do the normal thing, but yellow is the color particularly positioned to be able to defeat Flashby Queen, no matter what its power is, because of Raptor Razor. Because no matter whether it's 6 or 10 or 12 power, you get that much +2 when you play Raptor Razor.
So, how often do you use your main in this deck?
Well, you are obviously limited to what, 5, 7, 8, 10 times total. Actually, no, Double Dex and Earth Pony, so 8 times total at most. And I found in most games I used it maybe twice.
Do you think Tempest would be better for this deck? Like, I know part of the playing role too there was to trick people into sideboarding wrong. Like, oh yeah, I don't need worn out against Royal Tutor. But with so few friends to search for, and not even like if you play Tranquility, you can't even find anything. And if you play like Rainbow Laser or Dramatic Entrance, you usually play them during a face-off, when you might or might not want to exhaust your main, depending on what you flip, I guess. But generally, exhausting your main would not be advisable most of the time, I would say.
Yeah. Well, so admittedly, after the first maybe 4 or 5 turns of the game, you're not using your main to farm usually, which is a little unfortunate because of Rainbow Laser. But like, yeah, from that point on, Raptor Razor is like your main farm tool, or restricted section, depending on how things have gone.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the 2 cards easiest to find with the main.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
that makes sense.
yeah, being able to have those 2 when needed is super important. I'll admit, I didn't actually keep restricted section in all the time. In particular, I found against your deck, against purple decks in particular, she was actually pretty vulnerable. Because single target
Yes.
disruption is what purple decks are good at.
Yeah. Royal Tutor can do nothing against Raptor Razor.
Yeah.
There's just you don't have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
I guess pink, blue does, and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's we need Flitter. We need Flitter back.
Yeah.
The pink one. I love that Flitter.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that dismisses all of this stuff with 1 power or less. Uh,
Yeah. And so my games against Cheese, I actually, particularly in the top 8 rounds, I don't think I ever flipped my main over, except for like once. He was very good at preventing my main from flipping. To the extent that I was starting to think like, maybe I should save my tranquilities and only play them when I'm going to be putting 3 events in my discard pile.
I think if Royal Tutor deck, like the combo one, has Feet of Peak against you, there's just nothing you can do.
There's just nothing to do. Yes.
Like they will have enough IT to banish anything you put into the discard pile, I think.
Yeah. But I felt I managed to do okay, even without that. Because you start Buckball strategy, and neither of those decks wants to flip their main over. With 2 power on the main, I could still do like most of what I cared to do.
Yes.
So I wasn't that concerned. And I felt like I was still able to put up a reasonable fight.
Yeah. I mean, you are in top 8?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Like I beat Cheese in the Swiss round, It was a close run thing. It came down to he had to copy a worn out to move 2 critter tokens home from a face off. Um,
That is great.
and
That's
then
good.
he tried to play another one, and I told him, "Well, you've already played a worn out, so
Yeah,
that's not how that works."
that's how Warnout works.
Yeah, and so we were tied, and I flipped again for the win. That was to score 8 points off of Flash Be Queen.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then like by the time we met up in top 8, he knew to basically just always play a friend to Flash Be Queen and then challenge it on his turn, so that none of his cards would get banished.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was we didn't really have that out against the combo anymore.
Yes. So another question that I had is, I know that when we did our playtest game, when I played Royal Tutor basically for the first time, the new version, and you played this deck for the first time, we like you put Applejacks in after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that worth it? Did you? Would you
I
rather have School Shutdowns back or
So Applejack
Applejack was good?
did burn me once off of a Pony of Shadows. So that's the risk you take for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I know I never played it in the tournament.
Yes. I remember against me, you just got her turn 1. That was fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Which did nothing because I didn't have a board yet.
yeah. Like it's tough. I know I did well. Yeah. I had one opportunity to play a school shutdown against Tees. I waited one turn too long on and got lunch breaked. Don't know if I would have preferred either of them, really.
Fair enough. I think School Shutdowning against Royal Tutor is very strong if
Yeah,
done at the right moment.
if not the right one. Admittedly, I never played against Ivory's Thorax list.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's one of the big reasons to have that kind of mass removal in there. So,
yeah.
but summary, I thought the deck was super fun. I really enjoyed playing it, and I think with some further optimization, it might have a real shot.
Yeah.
Perhaps we'll see it again in the not too distant future, piloted by me.
Are you hinting at something?
Perhaps.
Are you?
Nothing is official until it's announced publicly.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, which card can I ban from this deck?
Yeah, there are options, certainly.
All right. Shall we move
Yeah,
on to
sure. Ivory. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I never got to see Ivory's deck in action.
I got to see it in top 8.
Okay.
And my deck is favored against this one. Like, we've playtested it before, and Royal Tudor was like winning 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I lost in top 8, 0-2. Apparently, Fluttershy Kindness can be is really annoying. Who knew?
Interesting. Okay. Mostly
There's
for. Well, I guess it actually does it hit
for
every critter
point
in this deck.
acceleration.
It does, but yeah, I guess yeah. He was bringing back his bunyips, or
No. The Unity 15.
oh, the Unity 15 one. Sure,
Yeah,
I guess
that also farm without the stick. That's true.
it's true. Yes.
But yeah, this deck goes fast. There's Banyips, there's Kindness can be, a bunch of critters. Yonas are really annoying. Uh, it's a mono yellow deck. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a
Uh,
Thorax deck.
yeah. I'm just gonna look. Were Ivory's losses? All right, he lost a pancake, and then he had one more loss, and he lost a bugle. Okay,
Yeah. Birds of a Feather is ridiculous if you don't get rid of her. Which is why I lost my games. He got Birds of a Feather like really early, and I had nothing to do against that.
Hmm.
So the board went out of hand real quick.
Right, and yeah, Royal Tutor has no way to recover from that.
No. Well, their school shut down, but I only had one copy, never got it, so that was sad. But yeah, Thorax, good.
Yeah, and I get, well, yeah, Pancake brings it up in chat. That is kind of the double threat of Thorax. By going wide, you go tall as well.
Yes.
Um,
So for me as a Royal Tudor player, going tall was not as much as a problem as going wide.
right.
When he has like 10 critters at each problems, there's nothing I can do about. Thorax is not a problem. I can move Thorax, I can remove abilities. That's not the problem. Also, the first game I almost won. Well, not won, but almost didn't lose. Let's put it that way. Because I played Stream of Silence,
Hmm.
and then I moved the kind as can be with Wornout from his home to the problem that I chose. Because because Stream of Silence is a cloud, it works.
Right,
She would lose her abilities, and I would win next turn. Uh, because like kind as can be was giving him the 1 point that he was missing to win.
right.
But he had defend the hive, which was very sad.
Oh
he just
man,
he just moved her out.
that is a shame.
Yeah.
You know, that's right. I never looked at that card close enough to realize that happens on all the problems. Ouch.
What happened? Oh, the Unity 15? Yes.
Yeah, ouch.
Like this card just has to exist. And it's really easy for this deck to exceed confront requirement by 5 because either you have a ton of critters or you have a very large changeling. It's pretty good, pretty good. Also, Pancake points out that Featherweight does a lot of work. Yes. Featherweight is it's a perfect card for this list. It's a good way to flip turn 2 with Bug Ball. And it's very useful later because it's an extra card draw, which is very strong.
Yeah, it's honestly impressive as just a 2/2 one requirement single keyword. Friend, super strong.
Yeah, but that keyword is very strong though.
Yeah, didn't we like ban a card once for just drawing an extra card every turn?
Yeah, there was something like that. I mean, if you think about it, Eager is probably better keyword than Meticulous, right? Because instead of deciding whether you want a card or not, you just get an extra one.
Right.
The only exception is that Meticulous stacks and works anywhere, and Eager doesn't. But in this case, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Beagle says one Eager is better than one Meticulous. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Meticulous 2 is a different thing entirely. Yeah,
Worse than too meticulous. Yeah, fair enough.
I would agree with that. So if Thorax can have like an eager friend that's 2 cost, 2 power, 1 rec, can we have like Meticulous 2 in purple, also 2 cost, 1 rec?
You know that? Wait a second. Which card is it? What's that Luna? She's meticulous too.
Yes, I think she's a free power, free cost, free rec. I think. Right?
3 rec. Okay.
I think. But I think if you printed like exactly featherweight but purple and meticulous like 1, it would
Right?
not see play. Meticulous 2 maybe would see play. So what we really need is a free rec 2 cost 0 power card, which has Meticulous 1 prepared and exhausts for ET.
I think we've been through this.
I don't think that card was as bad as people make out it to be. I think that card was balanced. It was fine. It had 0 power. It was. You know how sad it was to flip that card.
Don't feel like that was the major.
We'll just bring back old money. Ha! I mean, yes. I mean, on that note, I was actually yesterday, another tangent, trying out a deck that, like, I opened one of my old lists, which I really liked, which actually made GP salty once. That's the accomplishment of that deck list. Like, actually salty. And the only things that are illegal in the deck were changeling mimics and old money. So I kind of restructured the deck a little bit to see if it could work without them,
Hmm.
with like all of the new stuff that we have now. And I mean, it honestly wasn't too bad. It wasn't strong, but it was playable. I felt like I think that deck could be like maybe a tier 2. I liked it.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't think I'll play it in
I assume not because
tournaments,
Miss
but
Main will
yeah.
get banned in the Invitational. Well, fair enough. Yeah.
Well, that deck doesn't need Miss Main.
Doesn't need Miss Main, really.
I mean, okay, so the original list was running. Remember the card? Photo finish, say cassette, or how do you
Right.
pronounce that? Remember that card? That card used to be a staple in white. Not anymore. Now it's just all mist main.
Yep. Maybe,
I think photo finish might see play in.
it's quite possible, actually.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I wanted GP. Do you remember which deck that was
I
that I'm talking about?
I think he remembers.
Yeah, but maybe he doesn't remember the details, other than the fact that he was salty about old money. It was a really fun deck. I love it. I love it so much.
I don't know if I know exactly what you're talking about.
I actually
A lot
listed.
of those white purple
Actually,
decks kind of blend together.
I actually linked this deck in stream notes on the server.
Oh, was that? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's that deck.
I never clicked on that link.
Oh wow. Okay. But yeah, this deck is. You cannot tell it's my deck because it runs 8 entry. That just never happens, but it does. Entry is super important in this deck, even though it's a 2-color. But yeah. But the main thing here is it's portals and cleaning up, and you recycle them.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And because you run Trixie as your main, all of that is really, really cheap. I'm pretty sure that was counter farm. No, it wasn't. It was a different deck list
Yeah,
entirely.
yeah. This is a separate thing.
Yeah.
The got to be blue to be counter farm.
Yeah. Oh, this deck was so fun. And I really hope I can make it work on with the like current cards without mimics and old money. This deck can run we're back combo. Anyway, we're not,
Yeah.
not talking about my deck.
Extended tangent. It's a whole other
Yeah.
circle over there, really. All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. So next up is Pancake playing a deck of arguable archetype. No, it's a control deck, right?
Yeah, I think we have determined this.
I
I mean, that's what Pancake told us, right? When we were
I
like,
think so.
like in the room, I told him, okay, if you win the Continentals, you will not get to complain that farm is weak. And then he told me, but I am playing a control deck.
Hmm.
So there's no denying it is a control deck. And like, admittedly, look at all those control tools.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, to Pancake's defense, I see the argument starting up in chat already. It is possible for a deck to be both.
Yes. That's what I would call my anti-farm deck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what we call now anti-farm deck. It's like it does control, although much harder than this deck. And then when it has control of the board, it just farms a bunch of troublemakers to close out the game.
Mhm.
So it can be both. And like if you think about it, Hot Wings is also like everybody would say that Hot Wings is aggro, but it also has a ton of disruption, which is kind of like control.
It's hard to it's honestly always been hard to characterize that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, it comes down so much to the main, to the way the deck wants to play. Yeah, and I think that's part of why it's so easy to look at this and say farm, because this is a farming main, or if not, it's an aggro main,
Yeah.
a control main. Yet, by the same token, yeah, there is a lot of disruption, a lot of removal, a lot of answers to specific things. This deck, for example, I know has a hard counter to mine in both Blindfold and Grogar's Lair.
Yes.
Yeah. And a similar way of speaking, Grogar's Lair also kind of works against Thorax very, very well.
Yeah. And Blindfold works against Royal Tutor combo.
Mhm.
Because you cannot search for things, you cannot look at top cards, so Twilighting doesn't work. You cannot get things out of discard piles. Annoying.
Very much so. Yeah. It's so the thing that struck me, I guess, is that like that story that I told, Pancake saying he was gonna have to play the same old deck, but I mean the old deck was a farming deck, and this is a control deck. So it couldn't be the same old deck.
Yeah.
So he says 15 cards worth of difference. Fair enough.
That is a big difference. Part of me wishes our sideboards were bigger. So we could have like transformative decks that could lean either into one archetype or another archetype based on the matchup.
Hmm.
Like I think this deck would be good at that.
It could be. Yeah. What is
5
this?
cards is just not enough.
What's the? I guess I don't know enough about Magic. What is the sideboard size there?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh,
I think it's
it's just
10.
bigger than us. Okay.
But they also have 60 card decks. 15, Vigo
15.
says.
Okay.
But they also have 60 card decks. Like we have 45
Right.
and
So
they have 60.
the equivalent sideboard would be something like 12,
Yes, I think so.
something like that. Yeah.
So it's not too far off. 1/4 of the deck can be swapped. Yeah.
Yeah.
For single Swiss, that would be too much. 15. Well, not 15, but maybe 10. 10 cards would be interesting, right? 15 is like third of a deck. That's a bit much.
Yeah. Like yeah, but I mean he's got a point. The sideboard is mostly for the best of 3 thing that Magic does. Like
Yeah, but like in Magic, you don't get any information about what your opponent is playing until you play them.
right.
But here we do, specifically because we don't do best of 3, which I assume we don't because our game is kind of slow, which I
And
really like.
yes. Are they distracted here for a second?
I would like to see like an experiment with 10 card sideboard. Could be interesting.
Yeah, actually, yeah, Bugle brings up the point.
I mean, that's me. Like my sideboard decisions yesterday against Bugle, like I took out 2 cards and like I don't want to think anymore and played 48 colored card deck.
I've definitely considered that. Yeah. 46 can't be that much more than 45. Doesn't
Yeah, it's
shouldn't be
fine.
that bad, yeah.
You can see GP. I can feel GP being angry. 46 is fine.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
All right. So, number 2 is Bugle with Twitter Rig the Prize Wheel. So I actually never saw this deck work because I never played against him, and he didn't obviously get to do much in the final match. So I'm gonna try to figure out what this combo is. It's my
Okay, good luck.
first time
I think
actually looking at the full deck list.
I think I played against it, but I don't remember if it was like a casual match or in the tournament. And
Right.
I lost.
I mean,
Did I lose? Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. Yes, I did lose. Yes.
well, obviously you know, yeah. So I know this is hat combo, with Endless Generosity and 15 Marvelous Oppose. And you get all your tokens with Spontaneous Song and Dance.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, is that just it?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. You just get a bunch of tokens. Well, what? Hold on. What did you say?
That, like, yeah, you generate a bunch of tokens with Spontaneous Song and Dance. You get to Unity 15 with
Yeah.
Yonabar, and I guess you can't use Surprise Concert. Yeah, you have to. Oh, or wait. Surprise Concert actually do other than Pink. Yeah, I guess once you played Spontaneous Song and Dance, you can't do that. But like, yeah, you get to Unity 15 with Yonabar, and then yeah, that's just it.
Yeah.
Maybe some
And
EA.
delaying tactics here is because it's a dilemma. The problem you can play.
Yep.
And EEA is really annoying. But yeah, that's it. There's not much to it.
Yeah.
I think Bugle always sideboards his combo pieces to get them with latest greatest creation. Maybe I'm stupid, but I still don't understand how it's better that way because like yeah, getting latest greatest creation gives you all your combo pieces one by one. But isn't it like more fragile? Like if anything happens to that card, that is unfortunate. No.
Well,
Oh, yeah. I guess you sideboard one of each combo
yes.
pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then yeah. Okay. So if somebody removes latest greatest creation, that's still fine. Okay, that's the part I was missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I can just looking at chat. I can, looking at this deck, very much agree with Grandpa's here that it's so ridiculous that delaying tactics, and it is the right card. It is the right card, but that's so ridiculous. That's so absurd.
What is absurd?
Well, that
Well, I
there's
mean,
nothing better to put there
but
for
like,
sure.
I just don't. I just don't see like yeah, it's not a great card, but it's not the first time we use some bizarre card for a combo.
But it's
You
not
know?
even strictly speaking like it's
Well,
not
it's
a
not required, yeah,
yeah.
but
It's not a combo piece. It's
but
not.
it's an answer to a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is the right thing to play there. Yep.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. As everyone said, it's the right card to play. It just I guess maybe I feel like there should be something more apropos to put there. But well, yeah, play the right card. It was a real shame that we didn't get a better show of this in the finals match.
Yeah.
The best part though is the rarities. Now I assume you mean. Well, wait a second. Yeah, he said lowercase r, not capital R. So yes, it is not a pauper deck. There are a couple of rares here, but yeah, no shinies.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot run this in Pauper. One of your primary combo pieces is gone. Actually, two of them is gone. Oops.
Yeah. But it is a surprisingly an uncommon kind of list. It's a very bugle list.
What? Because it's white?
Because it is white and totally unexpected. Like, doing something totally different from what everybody else at the con was doing.
I mean, to be fair, Beagle is not the only one who was trying to do outrageous outfit stuff. There is a second list.
That's right. Who was? Oh, right. It was Diamond Song, right? Or no. Oh, that's right. Brandon was also doing it, but he was doing it.
He was doing it through yellow and critters.
Interesting.
And the way you get unity for white is through changeling citizens. It's much slower than what Beagle is doing because it's not just a combo list. I guess it tries to do kind of aggro. I'm not sure, but it is. I like that there is an alternative way of doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we might see this again as well, probably.
Unless something happens to it.
Unless something happens to it, yeah. But like, I mean, who's going to try to ban Snipe Bugle? That's not a thing you can do. He'll find something else.
Well, yes, but this particular list is super easy to ban. You can ban rarity. You can ban outrageous outfit. If you don't want to kill this list completely, you can do something about latest greatest creation and make it less consistent. Apparently, because 5 is more than 3.
Alrighty.
The final list.
Well, yeah, Cheese won the tournament. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, I mean, yeah, we did talk about the list already, and
yeah, no, we already
it is
talked about
card
the list.
to card exactly the same list.
The same list. So maybe we'll just end the stream here.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Oh, let's give Cheese at least the time of day.
Our turns.
Yeah, pretty much. Is this? Let me look again. Is it exactly the same list as yours?
I think it
is, isn't it?
I think it is card to card exactly the same.
Yes, it is. Problem deck?
Even problem deck.
Even problem deck. Which is, well, yeah, I guess a testament to you and him. Great minds thinking alike.
It is a very fun deck to play. Because there's a lot of options that you have, and there's a lot of things to do and not to do. I really like playing this list.
Yeah, I don't want to have a game where this is completely gone.
Was this way against my deck? At least the game ended.
Yeah, like I'm put in mind a little bit of the adventure deck that Eminently used to play, Eminently Sensible. That had a similar idea. Bank up a giant pile of AT and just win.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like, that deck was fine.
So Magic Instructor is the easy hit here, but I think this will nerf the deck too much, maybe. I would just remove lunch break. We don't need lunch break. I like this deck without lunch break. It's still fun.
It's interesting. Magic Instructor really does seem like the kind of card, and I guess it's really easy to say this in retrospect, but it does seem like the kind of card that was bad until it got banned, basically. Like, as soon as someone found a way to make it good, it was way too good.
But like, is it way too good? Like with like, imagine a world where you don't have lunch break and tranquility. Is Magic Instructor still way too good?
Well, no. No, without those two cards, it's probably not even in here.
Probably not. Like, I think the real problematic cards are not Magic Instructor, but Lunch Break and Tranquility. I think Tranquility is like, I think there will be a point when we will ban Tranquility at some point in the future. It will just happen. That's how I feel. Like, if right now we have Magic Instructor breaking the card, next time we'll have something else. Stop it, Hithroc. No AT for you. Hey, give me cover to cover. Bang Tranquility and give me cover to cover.
Tranquility gets banned, Purple and Core stops existing. That's...
Give you Trixie. Yeah, Trixie was great. Need more. I was thinking of putting, teacup models in TTS. So you can use them as teacup tokens on Trixie.
That'd be cool.
Well, I guess they're called spell counters. I know why they're called that. They should be called teacup counters.
Yeah, that's a cool addition to the mod.
But then Bugle said that if I am doing that, then he will ask me for like 50 more playmats. So I'm not doing that probably.
Gee, we have enough playmats already.
See, that's what I think.
Well, I mean, we have enough from a sort of UI perspective. Like, we're starting to run out of room for hexagons.
Yeah. It was much worse before the hexagons. Before the hexagons, you had like a huge list of buttons with names. But when hexagons appeared,
I mean, well, I say that. Realistically, do we need those other two playmats over there? Does it really need to be a 4-person table?
let me bring to you the 6-person table that we have somewhere on Steam Workshop. But yeah.
Anyway, I don't think either of us has any more comment about this deck.
Nope.
Okay, good enough. Congratulations to Cheese, though.
Yes.
Sue. Oh, if I meant to close that tab. Okay. So that brings us to the end of Continentals and the end of the sort of unofficial 2022-2023 season of MLP CCG. So that means it's time for the playoff round, if you want to call it that. It is time for Invitational season for this year. I'm very excited for it.
It's gonna be an unusual one in ways more than one.
Yeah. So there's a few things that are new this year. I've already talked about them in a number of places, but they bear repeating. I don't want anyone to get surprised. The biggest one are the bans. Every player gets to ban one card in one format. Starting now, that is live. If you are a participant in the tournament, you can go and do that now. Submit your ban list. You got a week to do it. I suppose I should say we have got a week to do it. I am one of them.
That's the other unusual thing.
That's the other unusual thing, yes. When I set up the tournament, I did not foresee a world where I'd be playing in it. But that is that. So, to that end, yes, that's why I said I was going to do it at start of stream. Here are our 8 participants for this year. Cheese and Grandpa's we already knew about. They were last year's finalists, and so are automatically back in. Although, I'll save it for the end of the stream. That's another thing that's changing this year. Then we have Bugle. Then we have Ivory Starlight of Sim. Pancake. You, Hithroc.
Moi.
Myself. And Tom from the CCG Discord. So that's 2 new people who've never played in the event before, me and Tom. As well as a returning list of famed, esteemed former participants. So there should be some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I mentioned, I guess, just now that the sort of so to speak prize structure, as it were, is changing up this year. This is going to become a bit more important toward the end of the event, but because this whole invitational point thing has been so successful, we are changing it up so that now only the winner of the event is going to get an automatic invite back. The second place finisher is going to get 10 points for next year's tournament. This is going to be slightly different from what I told you, actually, Hithroc. I made one small change to it. Third place gets 5, and then fourth place gets 2. So, based on this year's points, like 10 points this year would have gotten you in. That is what Pancake has. But 5 and 2 wouldn't have. So, first, I mean, it's making it a little bit more graduated down, so that there's rewards for third and fourth. We'll see about it.
Yeah, if it doesn't work the way we hope it would, we will just do something about it for the next time.
Yeah, that is the name of the game of the Invitational. Small incremental changes. The other thing that's new this year, because I just found out about it at Continentals, is the new Tier 3 match tie-breaking rules are going to be in effect as well. We haven't needed them ever in the Invitational, so perhaps this is unnecessary. But the way that it's going to work is that, I guess for those who aren't aware, there's the 3 turns off the end of hard time, and then if we need to go to the short game, it'll be the 4th decks, like the decks which haven't been played at all over the course of the match, unless the tie was at 0 games to 0, in which case it'll be the format that wasn't game 1, and you'll choose your deck, kind of as if we were playing game 2. And then if we need to go to sudden death, it'll be random format, chosen deck. As I said, we've never needed those rules before, just pointing out that exists this year.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need them until you do.
Yeah. think that's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bugle, you're right. That would be
That's I
to
would
go
love that.
2 hours, 45 minutes in the same game.
I would love that.
It's only going to happen this year if you and I end up playing each other, Hithroc.
No, you know how our games usually go. You go to 14 points and then I win.
Yes, after like 3 hours is what I'm saying. Yes,
Yeah, usually 2.5, so about the right deadline.
about the right deadline. Yes. So yeah, that's that. At the moment, that's all there is to say. Next week, after the ban week has passed, is when the bracket will be drawn and announced, and then there will be the 2 weeks of deck building, and then 26, and then September 9th. And then, yeah, that means the first match should be aired on September the 16th, if I've gotten my dates right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
maybe we will have one of the matches IRL. Who knows?
I am actually really hoping. I think the best case scenario is for you and I to be in the top round together, and then that's the match we do at HithCon, I think.
Yes, that'll be the best.
I don't know, haven't drawn the matches yet, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Speaking of HithCon, come to HithCon.
Speaking of, yeah. Oh, there you go. Nice.
I did a website for a reason. Oh, I mostly did it as a meme, but
yeah. Be sure to register at the powerful tier. That's the best one.
It is the best one, yeah. It includes all of the perks from the previous tiers as well.
That it does. So anyway, that is core. I think probably 2 weeks from now we'll know what the invitational ban list is going to be. So perhaps we'll talk a bit about what that's going to do, what that's impacted.
Yeah.
Otherwise, perhaps the Harmony tournament here at Everfree.
We'll find something.
Yeah. And then after that is games. Invitational games. All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming out and chatting with us and hearing our tangents and everything about Everfree. I guess until next time, I have been cursedchords.
And I've been Hithroc.
And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.